I don't know who at all can help me. I'm tired of shedding tears over this situation. I'm tired of racking my brain over this situation. Uh, I want to make this story as short as I possibly can. Okay? I want you to first look at the man that you're dealing with. I am a black male under the roof of not only America, but the Commonwealth roof of Virginia. For those of you that may not know, when it comes to backlash, when it comes to racism, when it comes to an unfair shake, Virginia is one of the top 5 areas in the world that displays that towards black men. Virginia is one of the wealthiest areas on the globe, not just America, on the globe. And most of their money comes from the backs of people that look just like me. Where do we start first on this story? June 13th, 2018, my ex-girlfriend, who really wasn't my ex-girlfriend, she displayed her lack of love for black men. Just like, well, it's pretty much the norm in America. We are the least loved creature. But because of which, I let her know, not just verbally, but I let her know that I wasn't going to be the typical black male that was going to jump at the fact that she was a white girl as if I needed her, as if she was a prize. I also let her know, because of her lack of love for black men and her extreme hatred for black men, and the fact that I had willingly, whether it be given my body, whether it be given my time, whether it even be given my heart, I let her know that those things were going to cost some money. And the reason why I let her know that those things were going to cost some money is because I wasn't going to be put in a situation where I was going to be on child support. I was going to be in a situation where, oh shit, the evil black man hit the little innocent white girl, and I was going to get the raw end of the stick. On June 13, 2018, I went to my former dwelling to grab some clothes that I didn't pick up from when I moved with my current girlfriend. I actually agreed to squashing the beef with my white ex-girlfriend, in which it turned out that I was attacked by her. And after being attacked by her, she wasn't finished. She needed to try to kick the door down in hopes to do more harm. Okay? In which, at that moment, I ran out the back door of the former dwelling, called the authorities. The authorities came to the house where I formerly was residing at. They came to the house, and they weren't really concerned for my well-being. They found some unsavory objects, and they felt like, oh, well, we didn't get what we supposedly came for, but there's some objects here that we can make something out of nothing with. They said that they smelled marijuana, which in actuality, there's no possible way that they could have smelled marijuana. They saw some objects there. And with seeing those objects, they felt like that was probable cause to do an illegal search and illegal seizure on me. A whole hour had gone past since I called the authorities. I finally reached the former dwelling. I'm detained immediately alongside my current girlfriend. While I'm being detained, they're looking through the house, they're flipping through stuff, okay? And to make a long story short, I was charged with a few things. By the way, my name is Tyreek Jason Clark, all right? And no information was given from me. They asked, whose house is this or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. Well, do you stay here? I'm like, well, regardless of whether I stay here, all I get is mail here. I don't pay no bills here. If anything, I may give whoever resides at that house whatever amount of money for the little bit of time that I stay there. Okay? Basically, I was the first Negro to arrive at the scene. And to make that longer story short, it was an illegal search, illegal seizure. Me and my current girlfriend never saw a search warrant. Okay? They actually scoffed and taunted us and let me know that I should have stayed where I was at and I wouldn't have gotten arrested. They asked my girlfriend if she was the quote unquote trap queen. And was I letting her hold the stuff? That definitely most certainly wasn't the case. I spent about 2-3 weeks in jail before I get released on pretrial, an intensive pretrial. Meanwhile, the white girl, Amy Holland, this is a violent charge versus a non-violent charge. This is a white chick versus a black dude, all right? She was released immediately and got bond immediately, okay? Today is August 21st, I believe, and we were supposed to be in court at 11:30. That was the 11:30 docket. I spoke to my lawyer, which I don't, because my case is still open, I'm gonna not explain further about that situation. I'll explain later. But my lawyer, David Doherty, he fought a little bit to get me released on intensive pretrial. My intensive pretrial probation officer, her name is Kristen. I believe her last name is Thompson. I'm not really sure. All right. It's just been a month and some change that I've been on pretrial. I go to court today, August 21st, 2018. I see my lawyer in court. So I ask my lawyer, because this isn't his case. His case is to deal with my situation, but this isn't his case. So I ask him, you know anything about the prosecutor and everything? He says, he seems like, what did he say? Oh, he's a good dude. This is what he says. Now, the dude's name is Barry Weig or Barry Vague or whatever the case may be. I will find out shortly what his name is. Okay. So The officer, Officer Patel, the Officer Patel was actually at the scene when I was attacked. He was one of the officers. After me being detained, he was one of the officers that were in there illegally searching my house. In a group of cops, whether it be a group of bad cops or a group of good cops, if there's a such thing at all, there were two groups. There were a group of suited cops, and there were a group of drug or gang task force cops. And these cops came in with masks on their face. I know two of the leading officers, Officer Colgan and Officer Black. Officer Black is a big, light-skinned black dude or whatever who seems like he knew who he sided with, because the ones that had the masks on their face, they looked like masked up criminals, and that's exactly what they were and what they acted like. Those were the officers who were scoffing, laughing, and taunting me about the situation, asking me to give them information about whoever they could pay me. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, the way y'all are going about the situation, y'all are going dirty about the situation. Even if I was that type of person, I don't think that there's any way that y'all could help me. Now, from a legal standpoint and from a lawyer standpoint, who was good at passing the bar exam, everything leads to everything should be non-processed. Or at best, they should give me a sweetheart deal for absolutely nothing. All right? But this is Commonwealth that we're dealing with. I need you to look at the Virginia flag. First of all, there's a woman over a guy assaulting him. I need you to do your research on that flag. I know my research, but that doesn't have anything to do with me for right now. My beef about this situation is not just the unfairness. Today, August 21st, all right, Officer Patel and Barry Weig or Weg, Vague, or whatever the fuck his name is, they're talking about the situation. He said, so who's the person that supposedly did this? Okay. He points out the little white girl and he says, oh, her? The little white girl over there? You gotta be fucking kidding me. This is exactly what he says out of his mouth. Me and my significant other, Miss Peggy Hernandez, looked at each other like, are you shitting me? And I looked at her because we've had conversations about this multiple times. She says, and I'm looking at her like, yeah, but you have to understand. Shoe on the other foot, 4 years ago, actually to this date, I got released from jail because of a situation similar, all right? Now, the prosecutor said that the pictures, all right, the pictures of the wounds that she inflicted on me weren't enough evidence. But yet, 4 years ago, something similar happened, okay? In which one, again, dirty officer, paid a girl by the name of Narelle Emery McAdoo, okay? Which I'm sure you won't get any information there because she's a lying, you know what. But she says that I did whatever I on the incident that allegedly occurred between me and her. I'm homeless at the time. They say I kidnapped, abducted her, strangled her, but yet how she managed to get away after getting kidnapped. I mean, I guess that would kind of make some sense, being the fact that we were homeless at the time. I mean, you can't really, where the fuck am I going to put her? Okay? So to make that long story short, they put me in jail, but those charges were non-processed because the lead officer on that case, Officer Burke, who's a dirty individual, um, he uh he to my knowledge, from what she tells me, paid her to put charges on me. Now, what actually happened that night of the incident was, again, we were homeless. We were living in a tent in the woods right beside of a church. Okay? She tells me, because we were dating in that week, and she tells me, well, I'm over you and I got some new boyfriend and me and him are going out on a date and now I got a place to stay and yada 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 and whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop. At the time, let's tell the truth on this one, okay? I may have been a little bit intoxicated, okay? But when I'm intoxicated, I'm peaceful, okay? A little smidgen bit of an asshole, but it's one of those things where I can say some things to people that make them feel like less than nothing, maybe, or maybe not. I tell her, well, look, ma'am, this is what you need to do. A lot needs to go into your mouth and a lot less needs to come out of your mouth. Because if you be who you are with this guy, this is your ticket out. Like, I understand we're going through something, you know what I mean? And if you about to go off and be free and be happy, I'm with that, all right? But if you be yourself, I shit you not, that movie date that y'all supposed to go, the movie dinner date that y'all supposed to go on, you'll be back here immediately. Now, I don't know too much about movies, okay? But I know that the movie is going to at least be an hour long. I shit you not, this girl was back in less than 45 minutes, okay? I was listening to the radio. I didn't listen to that many songs. It was just a few Drake songs, you know, a couple 2 Chainz songs or whatever. I get out of the tent, I go piss, and she comes back and she's pissed. Okay? She's pissed. To make that longer story short, she put charges on me. Now, the very next morning, all right, the very next morning, I go to the library, which, you know, a lot of people do not do. They just feel like, you know, I have my Google degree, all right, fuck the library. I go to the library, and not only do I go to the library because I actually was really going to read, okay, I have wanted to fill out a few applications, okay? But at the same token, I wanted to get on Facebook and see what was going on in Nothing Land, all right? I get on there. Somebody that I used to know in high school says, hey, yo, Tyreek. I'm like, what? Man, they looking for you, bruh. And I'm like, man, I haven't talked to you literally since high school. So what you mean? Who's looking for me? The police. I'm like, the police? She sends me the Inside Nova, a.k.a. I Hate Nigga Gazette, okay? I look at it, and I'm like, what the hell? What? Kidnapping? What the? And strangulation and abduct? Make up your mind. Is it kidnapping or is it abducting? You know what I mean? Y'all sound like baby, okay? Are you finished or you done? Was it kidnapping or was it abduction? Okay? Make that long story short, all right? I was on the run for a little less than a month. Guess who I was on the run with? The person that put those charges on me, okay? With the U.S. Marshals, the Prince William Police, okay? I want to say that they had the FBI on that case or whatever. I could be wrong, but what I do know is one of the moments where they were combing the homeless region to look for me, I was actually sitting on top of the church watching them comb throughout the area. Okay? The girl who put the charges on me, Narelle, all right, she actually had me hidden. Okay? Meaning that she was an accessory a little bit to a crime because you were harboring a fugitive. Okay? They're all looking for me. They're telling you, ma'am, if you've seen him, let me know. So basically what happened was, because she cashed her chips on this dude that was supposed to save her from homeless bondage, all right, and she said something to screw that up, she figured, oh, let me put that on Tyreek, because for some odd reason, Tyreek is in and out of homelessness. I don't know how he survives this situation. Well, it's one of those situations where it's better to be a chess player than a checkers player. You, ma'am, you decided to give your entire body, mind and spirit and heart to somebody, all right, in hopes that that person would save you from bondage. Me, on the other hand, I decided, with a female by the name of Justine Lagmay, who landed herself in homelessness because she tried to kill herself in front of her kids. Okay? It just so happens that this same female made $100 an hour as a contractor. All right? She was an electrician. She made a lot of money. But how she got to the homeless shelter was she went crazy. So what I found was I'm not submitting my body at all for free. Okay? I'll get to where that comes in. Basically, all right, in a nutshell, if you have no love for black men and you just feel like you're going to use them for our stereotypical attributes, if you will, our girthly members, if you will. You know what I really wanted to say. If you're going to use us for that, all right, and try to use us to get little mixed babies out of us, you're going to pay some money, okay? You're going to pay some money, and it's going to be a mean pay, okay? It's going to be a mean pay. And I made sure that I let everybody know that situation, because this is, again, the judicial system as a whole, whether it's Commonwealth or not, it's aimed towards black men for them to fail, okay? If only, all right, I had the brainwaves, time, and cojones as Mr. Isaac Wright Jr., all right? Because I kind of did. I just wrote a letter to the prosecutor at those times that I was being played with and let them know that one of those officers, those lead officers on the case, he's dirty. And there's some things that he may have done that y'all may need to look at, and internal affairs may need to look at as well, okay? Now I'm around here pacing around the house and running my damn mouth. But what I can say is this. I mean every single word that I'm saying. Every single word that I'm saying. All right? This is all gospel. Okay? And as you can see, I have this thing on my leg. One of the things that the today situation, August 21st, 2018, at the Prince William County Courthouse in Manassas, Virginia, all right? One of the things that, what the fuck is that boy's name? Barry Wade, or whatever the fuck his name is, okay? Motherfucker looks like Mr. Magoo, all right? He says, okay, I can't prove that this actually happened between you and this girl, especially with the fact that this isn't your dwelling, it's your former dwelling. But the dirty cops on the scene that I told that wasn't my dwelling felt there's the need to give me a possession charge for something that had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me, all right? There's not a document. There's not a written statement from me at all. Oh, well, if you give us this person, we can give you that person. Absolutely not. Okay? This don't have nothing to, and this is what I asked one of the officers. Okay? I said, yo, office, all right, here's the thing. Okay? Because whether they're dirty police officers or not, they act like broken and battered significant others, whether it be husbands or not. All right. All they do is go through your shit and try to get you in shit. Just like the Amy bitch. Okay. So what I asked him was, why you're trying to get this information out of me, officer? One of the officers. I said, when someone that looks like me is getting beat up by the police or getting killed by the police or getting sexually assaulted by the police, they even went hard. They just decided, man, we're not even beating them in public anymore. We sexually assaulting black women at Waffle Houses. Okay, somebody's gonna be at a Waffle House. All right, guaranteed. But yeah, all of this stuff is happening. Do any one of you cops step up? Okay? Oh, wait a minute. You don't step up. Because there was a guy by the name of Russell Poole, if I'm correct. Russell Poole, if for those of you that don't know, Russell Poole was the guy who decided, dun, 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 I'm going to try my best to solve Tupac and Biggie's murders as soon as he got this close. I don't know if y'all heard, okay? And I'm not laughing about this because it really pains my heart, and the movie is actually coming out very, very soon. This Russell Poole character, I'll let y'all Google that situation, okay? I'll let y'all Google that situation. Let's just say you won't be inviting him to anything, or you won't be writing letters to him and getting any feedback, okay? He no longer with us, okay? So back to the officer that I was talking to, I was like, do y'all do that? Is there decency in your heart? Do y'all go, hey, that wasn't right, officer? Do y'all snitch? The thing that y'all are trying to get me to do, do y'all snitch? And what does he say? Just like a battered significant other would say, but that's different though. How the fuck is it different? How? Okay? How? How is it different? You're not going to tell on your bros, so why would you expect me to do the same? And how do you even know if there's anything to tell in the first damn place? But what you're doing is just like battered significant others. What? So again, my name is Tyreek. Let's just have just another name to throw out there. Hey, Robbie. Yeah. Where the fuck was Tyreek at? What happened? All right, so look, check this. We went to the club, and I don't know. I left, and I told him I was leaving. He said, "Oh, I'm going straight home." Okay, the battered girl knows. Are you lying? She doesn't actually know what's going on, but what she's counting on is for Robbie to go, you know what? Especially because there's, how do I say this? The warmth of a woman and freedom go hand in hand, especially when it comes to a black man. Why? It's because those are necessities to us, okay? We're not granted those things off our own merit, all right? We're granted those things outside of our blackness and our quote-unquote girth, okay? So if she can count on you being not that much of a friend, yeah, you're going to spill the beans. Oh, I've had it done to me all kinds of times. Well, such and such said that she was doing this, and such said that she was doing that. Shit. Matter of fact, one friend that I had, or whatever, who I had to find out the hard way, okay, after me getting cussed out by damn near everybody as if I had something to do with it, this motherfucker was a sex offender on the low, okay? And not only was this motherfucker a sex offender on the low, he had the audacity. He's a lot older than me. Well, not a lot older than me. About 5 or 6 years older than me, or whatever. All right. I'm 20 at the time. My girl 18 at the time. And, you know, his situation was against the minor. So that's what was his thing. All right. That was the oldest girl that he had ever talked to. All the girls before that were way younger. All right. There was a chick by the name of Mona that he was fucking with. All right. He 23, she 13, and she killed herself. All right. And it took that to let me go, oh shit, my homeboy living foul. And then the month afterwards, he did some things to me that I can't speak on. It wasn't nowhere near sexual. It had something to do with violence, but like it wasn't nowhere near sexual. But that let me know that he was a grimy individual. Okay? And where I'm going with this is I don't think that it's, if I did do something wrong, which I didn't, if I did do something wrong, I don't feel that it's right for me to throw somebody under the bus for my situation to be all right. Because in actuality, it's just like when I was little, shit, I had my snitching lesson when I was young, all right? When mama came in there with the big ass belt that looked like a damn wrestling championship belt, and all of me and the siblings or whatever, and she asked what the fuck, what happened, who broke this, or who broke that, or who left this light on or whatever, all right? My whole thing was, I don't know. And either we all got a whooping or one of us said something, okay? And that one of us saying something led to all of y'all still getting a whooping, but you gonna get the main whooping because you sold them out. And they sitting there like, but you asked us again. I asked y'all. But then that would mean that if the cops come to the door and they say something like, all right, you know, who did mama sell them food stamps to? You gonna say, oh, well, yeah. I remember one time I hit when the bill collector had called the phone. My mama said she not here. All right. I got hopped on for that. I'm giving this message to whom it may concern. I will be giving out further information about the Virginia judicial system. There is 95 counties in this state, okay? The jurors in this state that are on the crimes, they are the most ruthless jurors, all right? They are the most bloodthirsty jurors. And when they see somebody that looks like me, oh, it's a wrap. All right? Now, when I was growing up in Paterson, New Jersey, my grandmother was the one that said, you got to send him to the suburbs. The way his mind works, the way his mind engineers or whatever, he going to be some boss around here, and I don't need that. And I need you to put him elsewhere. My parents were in the military. Once they got here, my dad knew the drill. He might not have been in Quantico for that long. He might have been there for not even a year. He said, I got to get the fuck out of here. I'm about to go to Maryland. And just so happens that Maryland is one of the places where black people flourish the most, all right? But the crazy thing about that is, Most of those forces out there are most of those forces out there, the police forces out there, mainly black men who are likely to do the same thing or whatever, and they'll tie themselves to the colonizer and make sure that a nigga gets dealt with, which is sad. You got people in Baltimore right now or whatever, they are getting things planted on them, which I'm pretty sure is going on in my situation. But yeah, I need help.